one. I'm off
I'm
the
off
meds.
the meds.
Afterthoughts.
Do it again. That was terrible. Do it again.
No, that's it. We're rolling with that. Afterthoughts, man.
Oh yeah.
Dante Pellegrino here. My good friends, Ian Parish, Vincenzo Pellegrino, and we are here with the first episode of Afterthoughts, a brand new podcast on the Above the Bridge YouTube channel and company rollout. We're very, very excited for this. Had this in the works for a long time. So we're going to be talking about a new album every single week. That's going to be the concept of this. Think of it as a book club, but not a book club. It's an album club. So we're going to hop on here every week and talk about an album. We're going to do like however many works per month, three a month, 2 a month, whatever, 4. It just depends on like who can do what. And we're gonna try to have like a revolving cast of characters. Like we'd like to eventually get like other members of the Above the Bridge team involved with these, and we're gonna be doing like a couple of through the Patreon per month, a couple for the YouTube channel per month. It's just going to kind of go back and forth. But if you like these and you want more extended versions of them and you want like literally double the amount of podcasts, Patreon, it's like here. I think it should be here. I think it says right here.
And of course, they're all off the meds.
They're all off the meds.
All of them. Every single one.
That's one of the patron tiers.
Off the meds.
One of the patron tiers is I'm off the meds.
Yep.
So like, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's like the concept.
Where we just spend an hour going full Kanye mode.
Full Kanye. Mental breakdowns, everything. Genius.
God save me from that car crash so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass.
Skeet. All right. Yeah. So today, as I said, we're talking about one album every episode. This episode, our first episode, we have chosen to discuss the new project from EARTHGANG, GHETTO Gods. So I know, Chenzo, you've been a big fan of EARTHGANG in the past. Like I know you are like, when I think of EARTHGANG, I'm like, God, like that's like Chenzo's group. So like what is your like, where did your previous love for EARTHGANG begin?
All right. Let's take you down a little history. So it starts with the EP entitled, Where is it? Rags. The Rags EP. I listened to this my last summer before going into my senior year. And holy fuck. Red light. Green light. Oh, dude, man, that album goes so hard. Yeah. I don't know. I started with Rags EP, loved it. I just loved I loved the instrumentals. I fell in love with Johnny Venus's voice. Like, I think he has like a notorious like rap voice like that like Eazy-E had or something. Like it's like every time I hear him, I'm like, holy shit! Like his like, it's almost like how like that fuckwad Ben Shapiro, and he was like, oh, rap doesn't have any harmonization. I'm like, that guy literally harmonizes, like has like melody like in his rap, like. He has like certain pitches.
You're telling me that you don't agree with everything Ben Shapiro's ever said?
No, I don't. I know it's controversial. However, here we are.
All right. Well, I kind of agree. I don't really think rap is music.
Oh, okay.
Well,
no, we're not going down this path.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
So let's say hypothetically, GHETTO Gods is a great album.
Let's say hypothetically, I actually made my girlfriend wet. Now.
Let's say hypothetically I had sex before marriage. Hypothetically, what did they would happen?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So it started with the Rags EP. Loved it. Amazing project. And then I listened to a little bit of Stray with Raby, specifically the song with JID. I think it's called Mama Told Me. Woo. Yeah. So that album was like did a lot for me. And then Mirland dropped. That is one of my probably my top 5 favorite rap projects. Man, I just think everything about it is so perfect. Like I mean, some of the fucking like features kind of weird, like T-Pain and Young Thug. I'm like, why?
Kalani kills it.
Kalani kills it, dude. On Trippin'. The song Stuck did I'm stuck to you. Oh, it's so good. And yeah, I don't know. Like this album just had so much like dirt to it. Like it was just so like raw, uncut, just like oh, it was just so beautiful. And like I love like the edgy instrumentals. I love like their harmonies. They're like almost like gospel. They're like gospel inspired. Like, and they just do these crazy harmonies on like choruses and stuff. Like every song had a build, and like specifically I think of the one on I think it's Blue Moon. No, it's on what is it? I think it's Wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still finding a way to spread my wings, and then like it builds, and it's like this pretty black rose, and then like they get to this high ass point, and then Johnny Venus just comes in with straight fire. I don't know. There's just so many moments on Mirrorland where I just like love like the beat drop. I'm proud of you. Bank. I think that song goes so hard, and yeah, top down, and I'm rolling through the city. Yeah, I don't know. There's just I can just go on and on, but yeah, Mirrorland, Rags EP, Stray with Rabies, like that just made me fall in love with EARTHGANG, and I was so bummed that I couldn't go to Outside Lands and see them because I was really looking forward to it. But yeah,
I missed their set, unfortunately.
Yeah. Bummer. Yeah, but they just I don't know. In terms of like Dreamville artists, like, and then actually hearing Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
They carried that project.
Him, JID, them, and JID, and Boz. I think they carried that project. Yeah. I think that every song that they were on just was so perfect.
That album's actually grown on me a lot. I think like after hearing the way it was recorded, it kind of grew on me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I just love the concept of like locking in for like 3 days and just making an entire project like hella artists. I think that's hella cool.
I think that's yeah. I don't know. Just they're so down to earth. I can tell they just love music and they love making it. So yeah, that's my history with them.
Yeah, interesting. What about you, Ian? Do you have like pre-history with EARTHGANG?
Nope, not at all, actually. Like this is actually the first project of theirs that I've like had anything to do with. And I've actually okay, so maybe this is contextualizing our differing opinions. Unfortunately,
yeah, makes sense why you like this album.
We've talked about this like a little bit before. Just like before we started this, and me and Vincenzo have very differing opinions on this album, apparently. But no, so I hadn't really listened to much of their stuff before this. The only stuff that I'd really seen of them was that they were unbelievably talented. That I saw them like absolutely fucking kill it on The Cave, the thing that Kenny Beats does, the show where
their episode is sick.
Yeah, their episode's fantastic. They're so good. Probably honestly like one of the best Cave episodes that is out there. Like they are so good at what they do. And honestly, I think I just love the idea of rap duos in general. Like I think just kind of like having two guys that are clearly just like really close and they just kind of like are really good at what they do. You know, like EARTHGANG comes to mind, obviously, because that's what we're talking about. Run the Jewels comes to mind. Outkast comes to mind. And then there's one other, and I can't remember what it was that I was thinking about. There was one other like rap duo that I was thinking about that I
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. I don't think
Madlib and Freddie Gibbs.
Like kind of. I think that like kind of counts. Yeah.
MF Doom and no, not Ghostface.
Mad Villain or fucking MF Doom and Madlib.
No, MF Doom. Who they released the? Jesus Christ! Hold on.
Mad Villain?
No, hold on.
It's Madlib.
What?
You're thinking of Madlib.
Yeah, it was MF Doom and Madlib made Mad.
But they're not really like a duo. They're just like MF Doom and Madlib.
Czarface.
Oh, Czarface. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so bottom line, I hadn't really heard that much of their stuff before this record, but I am pleasantly surprised. And I am honestly kind of compelled to go listen to some of their older shit after this one. So, but this was
your opinion will change. I'm just saying.
This album? Will.
Yes.
Why would my opinion of this album change? I know I like it.
Yeah, but you'll be like, wow, they can do so much better.
Maybe.
Trust me.
I don't know. I mean, their older stuff is like a little more like they've got like a little more soul to it and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just it's not even that. It's just like there's just more like they take more risks. They don't take any risks here. Far more interesting. They don't take any risks on Ghetto Gods. They're like I'm just gonna appeal to the general mass.
Well, that was
Yeah.
like
All
okay,
right,
so that
so
was like kind of my gripe. What'd you say?
I was just gonna say, do we want to keep doing like exposition type shit, or do we just want to jump into this one? Because
Yeah, we might as well just jump into it
because
because
like I said, I think me and Chenzo have very different opinions on this one, and I think
Okay,
Dante,
I
not a
really
big
want to
fan of
hear
this one.
I really want to hear your thing first.
Okay.
Go.
So as
Book
an
club.
introduction, what's up?
I said book club. Book club
Oh,
commence.
yeah, right.
Book club, yeah.
Right. So as an introduction, right, I've been kind of like really wanting a solid like rap album recently that was just kind of like right in the middle, like that had some bangers, that had some really good like lyricism on it, cool instrumentals. Like I was just kind of looking for the first rap project of the year that was gonna like hit all of those benchmarks for me, right? Because like I'd heard like the new Conway the Machine, and it's a really good record. But at the same time, I was like a little bit lukewarm on it, just in terms of like.
Now I'm on my laptop. Technical difficulty.
No what?
Ian.
No Wi-Fi. I'm sorry.
No Wi-Fi.
Ian, what were you
All right.
saying?
Okay. So anyways, so as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted by Dante's internet problems. Anyways, no, but so this year I was kind of just really waiting for that first like rap album that was going to kind of like hit all of these like benchmarks for me, you know, being like lyrically good, having good instrumentals, and like also just kind of like having some bangers on it. And the Conway record is my favorite like rap album of the year at the moment, but don't think it covers all of those bases necessarily for me. Like I think there are instances of all of those things on that album, but I don't think that it does it like as well across the board as this one did. And that's kind of why I'm really messing with this album. Like I think it just kind of has like it's got bangers, it's got some really cool lyrical moments, like them touching on a lot of like really like interesting like socio-political issues, and like just kind of like I don't know, just kind of like some really cool lyrical ideas. And I think the instrumentals across the board are pretty solid too. I mean, there's not too much to why I like this album. I think it's just a solid album. I don't really think there's like too much filler on it. I think most of the, you know, like skits and like the, you know, interludes and stuff worked relatively well where they were in the album. I thought there weren't really any songs on it that I thought were necessarily bad. There were a couple that I thought were like, it was fine. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think I just think it's a solid album. I just enjoy it from front to back. So
Interesting. Here's the thing, like my introduction to EARTHGANG was like through JID. So I'm a big JID fan.
JID head.
Yeah, big JID head, big JID head, if you will.
JID head.
I'm kind of a
Ew.
I'm kind of a JIT. But yeah, that was like my introduction to him. And then I kind of got into Spillage Village, although I don't think they've ever lived to their potential.
Not at all.
Yeah, which is why like going into this album, I was kind of like, I don't really know what to expect. Am I excited? Am I not? Because I've always been like kind of on EARTHGANG. But going into it, like the first 4 tracks for me were like, whoa, this is crazy. Like the first 4 songs in the album, or even like the first 5 songs, all the way up to like Amen, like The Glow, Ghetto Gods, Water Boys, and then Billy, and then Amen. I loved all those songs. And that was like the first 5 songs. And I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be crazy. And the main reason I thought that was because of the production. Like just those first 5 beats are all like insane. Like they're easily the best 5 beats in the project. And I think those are the best 5 songs in the project. I think they kind of just stack them in the early moments of the project. So that was kind of frustrating at first because I got further into the project and I was like, wow, the rest of it's not like the first 5 songs at all. The rest of it, like there were a lot more slower moments in the second half, which I don't think is a sound that EARTHGANG is comfortable in at all. And I don't think they sound interesting when they do R&B cuts at all. Like I think EARTHGANG on an R&B song is so incredibly boring. Like on Smoke Some, it just not interesting to me. Like
5 minutes of fucking just.
it's like, oh, okay.
Ugh.
okay, let's do something. Let's go. Like they just don't do anything on the R&B cuts, and I find them incredibly boring. There's no progression in any of the tracks. They just sit on the same boring trap instrumental the entire time. EARTHGANG just like half rap sings all over them, and like I don't know, that's not their appeal to me at all. And that's why I don't like them on that kind of instrumental, because that's just not their appeal to me. EARTHGANG's appeal to me, like is when like Dot and Johnny Venus are doing like are on like a really crazy like hectic beat, very much like the beat that comes on the title track or the Glow or Billy, like one of those crazy more eccentric hip hop beats, and they have like an insane flow over it, which is what like Johnny Venus is good at. It's what Dr. Dot is good at. And that's why like when they're over these boring instrumentals in the second half, I just don't find them interesting at all.
Yeah, big time. I think more to that. I think that point, for me at least, goes across the entire project. They don't really have any parts that like distinguished like fucking rap sections. Like they're either like throw in a couple verses or like not rap at all. I'm just like, what the fuck, guys? Like what why have you like regressed in like your like abilities? Usually they're so good about like waiting for the perfect moment to just fucking spit, and now they don't. They never. There was not one moment where I was like, that was perfect. Like I'm sorry to say, but yeah, I don't know. Um, from the first song, like or from the first from Ghetto Gods, I was like, this is trash. It's instrumental. It's fucking instrumental cheese, like some hype beast shit. And I was just like, this is stupid. That's not EARTHGANG, dude. They don't do this shit. They do fucking like they do like edgy fucking like almost like what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. But like I don't know. I just from the first like couple songs. Okay, I will say, since you're talking about the first 5 songs, the skit was good. Ghetto Gods came on. I was just like, man, this doesn't sound like them. This sounds like they're like they're almost like out there being like, you ready? You ready? You ready? And I'm like, fuck yes, I was ready from the skit. Fucking rap. And then Billy comes on. And I'm like, okay, perfect. That's what I wanted. Like just fucking hard beat with some bars. But when Future comes on, the instrumental changes, and it changes to appeal to the way Future raps, because it's a total Future instrumental behind his verse. It's such bullshit. I'm like,
but that's
no,
why I actually found that
you don't cater to the featured artist. The featured artist caters to you. You're having them on your album. That's what pisses me off.
But that's like honestly, I liked that, because the whole thing to me was like, the production on the first 5 tracks was so good that I felt like it was even able to make Future not boring. But like that's a pretty interesting instrumental, and a pretty interesting like, or a pretty impressive production feat to make Future not boring. I know Ian likes Future, but I think Future is so incredibly boring. So it's like everything. Like so it's like
what?
DS2.
DS2 is insane. It's like the best trap album ever. You're tripping. Future's insane. Dude's so good.
I don't know.
Like
I don't like
Future's a piece of shit. He's not a good guy, but goddamn it, he makes some amazing music.
Like I don't know. Like on Billy, I felt like that Future feature wasn't good, but I felt like when they were able to switch the beat to like keep the production as interesting when Future came in, I was like, wow, that was the moment where I was like, the production on this album is going to be crazy. And I was right for the first 5 songs, but then everything after that just trailed off. And it was like they were attempting these like sleepy R&B cuts. They were doing songs
to be fair, one of the songs they released before, or they did before this album, was Collide with Tiana Major, when we collide. And like, so I do agree that like they're not strong in R&B, but when they do R&B well, it fucking works for them, because first of all, Johnny's voice is ridiculous, and he just has that influence from like everyone that he's listened to. So like on a song like, even on like Nearland, on a song like Stuck, like they don't rap a lot on that album, but they rap it. But like when he sings a chorus, I'm like, that's beautiful. I don't know. There's just like they just went away from their sound, and it feels so commercially acceptable, and like it's just like it's trying to appeal to everybody, and it's just like that sucks. I miss the edgy vocal moments. I miss the hard hitting bars. I miss the dense instrumentals with gospel influences and so much. This is just lame trap cuts that do nothing. They rap way less on this album, and it doesn't work in their favor. The first, yeah, I'd say like everything from I would say till Waterboys, because on Amen they have Music Soul Child. You know me, I'm a neo soul like enthusiast. I love Music Soul Child. The fact that they sample Just Friends is really cool.
That was sick.
And it had so much potential for Music Soul Child. They didn't fucking use him. They barely used him. It could have used a rap verse, but instead they just let Music Soul Child sing and they just kind of sang with them. I was like, bro, god damn it! Like there was so much potential in that song.
I mean, I think honestly, this is like this conversation in general is kind of just like showing me like where the divide is. I think between us, because I don't have that frame of reference. Like I said, like I didn't listen to EARTHGANG very much, like or like barely at all before this. But like I don't know. I can't even say I like necessarily dislike some of the R&B cuts on this album, just because I feel like they're still doing it better than like a lot of other people who are like in the same lane. You know, like. I mean, I think, you know, there's like an example, like there's examples of people like in their same lane who are doing it a little bit better, obviously. Like, I think like, you know, JID, like.
Or who we talked about last week, Saba.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they're doing everything on this album better than Saba did on Few Good Things. I don't think there's, I think their rapping is better. I think the R&B influence
rapping's
cuts are better.
Definitely better. They just shouldn't have made it. I don't know. There's, I'm not, yeah.
In general, though, like, again, I enjoy both projects. Like, I really like the Saba project, and I really like this project. I actually, personally, like, I prefer this one. But yeah, I think honestly, it might just be because I don't really have that frame of reference, like for you know what they sounded like before, and maybe I will start to dislike this album a little bit more when I go back and check out some of their older.
I don't know, like good on you for liking it, because like if you like a project, you like a project. It doesn't matter like what other stuff is. I don't know. I think even if I hadn't listened to EARTHGANG before, I don't think I would have liked this project, honestly.
But more than anything, for me, like this was kind of like an instance where I, on a more broad level, I've been waiting for a really good Dreamville project since like 2018, like 2017, 2018. I don't know. When did DiCaprio 2 come out? Like
2018.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a really good Dreamville project since 2018. Like, and this was the first one that popped up that like really hit for me, because the thing is Dreamville as a collective frustrates the living shit out of me. Everybody in that collective is so goddamn talented. Like, you've got EARTHGANG, you've got JID, you've got what's his name? Not J. Cole, obviously. Yeah, Boss, yes. Like, and then like you've got you know like a couple other people.
You got Ari Lennox, you got so many good people.
Dude, there's so many talented people, and god damn it, they fumble the bag every time. Like, I don't understand what it is. I don't understand where like the divide comes in, like where like all of a sudden they just start like not being able to make a good cohesive project. But I don't know. And this is the first one where like I kind of like they were still doing Dreamville things, and I was enjoying the Dreamville things that they were doing, right? They have a song like Waterboys, right? Like where you've got JID and J. Cole spitting their like just
song's a banger,
spitting their minds out, and then you've got EARTHGANG absolutely killing it. The beat goes hard. And
what song are we talking
about? Waterboys. I really
J.
like
Cole's verses.
Yeah, like
I like J. Cole's verse.
I really, really like that song. And in general, I actually really like a lot of the features on this album, even ones that I was not expecting to like. Hearing CeeLo Green throw out one of the hardest rap verses of the year so far was an absolute like just mind-boggling thing to me. I think he absolutely destroyed that song. I also also really, really loved the Baby Tate feature. I was not expecting
Yeah,
that. And
that one was good.
I thought she
Killed
just
it.
absolutely
Killed it.
ripped it on that song.
She killed. It was a perfect song. Wait, that was on Black Pearls, right?
Yes.
The Baby
Yeah.
Tate feature.
Okay, the one thing I will say,
Black Pearl.
about that song, the way that they say "squirt" makes me so uncomfortable. I was like, that. Oh God, that's horrid. Like, why do you say it like that?
But yeah, I don't know. Across the board, I just think like this album is kind of like it. It is the first album in a really long time that has had those sort of like I can't think of a better term for it than just like Dreamville-isms that just worked for me. Like I haven't, like I really was disappointed with the last J. Cole project. I was really disappointed with the Spillage Village one that came out a while ago.
I like that one.
I was so mid on that record.
No, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, anyways, bottom line, I think I'm just kind of enjoying a lot of the things about this album in a way that I just haven't really enjoyed a Dreamville project since DiCaprio 2. And I think it scratches that same itch for me that like is this I don't know what it is. It's just like that, like writing that very, very specific line between like lyrical genius and like really, really good just like technical skills, and also coming up with songs that like hit hard. They just like are well written, well performed, and there's just like that. I was gonna say like I can't describe it any other way than just like that like Dreamville feel. So I don't know.
I know what you mean by a Dreamville feel, but I didn't get that from it. That's what I wish I got from it.
Me
like
neither.
what
Yeah,
I got from it,
that's
really.
Like
when I got to the last song, Run 2, was when I finally felt a little bit of the Dreamville thing. I was like, finally, my fix of EARTHGANG, and with Ari Lennox, who's, oh, she's so good. But yeah. I think the last song was finally the one where I was like, finally, some shit.
Yeah.
Water Boys was the only song where I felt like that.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, I don't know. For me, I think this entire album was, I think like it's less than like the dynamics and like just like the way each song itself flows, but more just kind of like how the whole album feels. Like I don't know, just kind of the idea of going from like those first like 4 tracks. That's such a weird 4-song run that like just kind of feels very, very Dreamville to me, going from like a really like cool rap song like Ghetto Gods to like a song featuring Future, and then going from a Future feature to JID and J. Cole
Feature.
on a whole, yeah, like it's,
sorry.
No, that's really that. Yeah,
Feature.
I don't know. It's a cool dynamic, and I think this album just kind of showed off that like kind of like Dreamville, like I can do both, kind of thing to me. Because that was kind of what it seemed like. I think Dreamville, like in general, they have a lot of people on their roster that are both influenced by like rap and R&B, and like if they can like kind of ride the line in between, that's kind of where I think they do their best work. And I think this album was a lot of that for me.
This album felt like the very, very, very worst moments of JID to me. That's what it felt like. It felt like the very worst moments of like Spillage Village and JID combined into like one project, and that was why it was so boring to me, because I don't like any of the
bums me.
Any of the Dreamville roster when they do R&B, probably because you guys know how I feel about R&B. Like modern R&B is just not my genre, because I feel like
have you listened to Shea Butter Baby?
By Ari Lennox?
Ari. Yeah.
I have. It's okay.
Dude. Okay. I don't get it. I think that album.
Didn't you love that? Didn't you love that Amber Mark record?
I did, and because I love that album because it's addressed the exact problem I have with most modern R&B. It's that 95% of the time, most modern R&B is like the R&B songs on this album and features absolutely no instrumental variants and no instrumental progression throughout the song. Like that is why it's so different than old R&B. Because when you look at a D'Angelo track, when you look at like old R&B that was far more influenced by like soul, the instrumentals, not only were they generally organic produced opposed to electronically produced, but they generally progressed with the songs. Whereas like all the R&B instrumentals on this album are simple at their core, which is okay, I have no problem with simple instrumentals, but they don't grow on themselves at all. And the hooks are sleepy, and it just there's nothing that's gripping. There's nothing that's gripping to me about like an American Horror Story or like a Smoke Some or like a Lie to Me. Lie to Me felt like a million other R&B songs down to the subject matter. The Gold Digger
Yeah.
thing is a R&B subject matter that I've heard a million times, and it's never interesting. And Lie to Me
So
had nothing original or interesting to say about it.
I will say American Horror Story though, out of all the songs, was my favorite. I think it has like the I like the ohs, like the like harmonies behind that. I love the story. I think it's really powerful, like depicting like slavery and shit in this day and age, and like how it's still happening. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I think the chorus is catchy. I kind of just wish they stuck with that the entire time. Like they could,
So-
if they stuck with like that storytelling aspect for all the songs, that would have been like cool. That's a
Okay.
cool direction.
Can we real quick? Can we talk about one specific song because I really want to hear your guys' opinions on
Yes.
this song?
Yes.
Can we talk about Power?
Yep.
I really want to hear your guys' opinions
Okay.
on that song because seeing the features on that song, I honestly thought I was not going to like it, and it ended up being one of my favorites on the project.
Okay, so instantly when I heard it, like I was like listening to it with my headphones on, like late at night, and I heard the like guitar coming. I was like, "That's sick! Like that's pretty cool." So that came on. Maybe it's just because I watched too much MTV. What's that rap show? What's it called?
The Nick Cannon one.
Yeah,
whatever one Nick Cannon does.
yeah, that one. Maybe just because I watched too much of that, but I was still like, Nick Cannon, cool.
I thought CeeLo Green's verse was crazy.
I thought it was all right. I could have done without the CeeLo Green verse and just have him stuck to the vocals on the harmony or the vocals on the the vocals on the chorus, and instead had another EARTHGANG rap. They didn't rap at all, and it felt like it felt like the same problem we had with the Saba, where he was like appealing. He was like letting the features do all the work for him instead of like establishing himself as the artist and letting the features back him up. It felt like let me just push CeeLo Green and Nick Cannon for you guys.
That's fair.
A song like Power, I was like instantly like, ugh, cheese, and I was kind of right.
That's fair.
I would have like enjoyed more of a hook or more of a EARTHGANG appeal on the song, because I did feel like it was just a CeeLo Green verse and everything else around it felt a bit fillerish to me. Besides the opening guitar line, which I thought was really cool as an intro, and then I mean, there's like kind of a EARTHGANG verse in the beginning. It's like both of them like kind of like spitting a couple lines, but it didn't feel like anything substantive until you get to the CeeLo Green line. I really liked the line that I think Dot said the line about Nick Cannon in the cannon, shooting the cannon or whatever it was. I was like, that was cool. I was like, that was pretty clever. So it was one of my. I liked that song more than most every other song on the project. I liked that song. I thought it was cool. I think it just could have used a bit more of a hook or like something to come back to like really like accentuate and like I guess make CeeLo's first pop even more than it did.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I just kind of wanted to, because I mean, like I said, like personally, the CeeLo Green verse fucking blew me away. Like I thought it was insane. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to hear you guys' opinions on that song, just because it was not one of my, like, it probably wasn't my favorite on the project, but it definitely was like up there for me. And I just
what was
just
your
kind
favorite?
of, honestly, probably either Black Pearls or Water Boys.
That's interesting because I feel like
I really loved that Baby Tate feature. She's been like, I've kind of like been waiting for her to pop off for a while. Just because like she was kind of like, making the rounds, like doing some features on some random stuff that was like kind of starting to like, especially whenever Ash Nico was like kind of popping off last year. Baby Tate showed up on one of her songs last year, and like she was one of the first people that I found through that, and so it was just kind of really cool. And then I think there was a She was also on a song with what is it? TK Maidza, I think.
Yeah, she's on that album.
She was on Kim with TK Maidza, and I
Last year
think
was
she
good.
absolutely destroys that
Bitch, I'm
song too.
Kim.
Bitch, I'm Kim. Bitch, I'm Kim. Dude, that song goes so hard.
I love that album.
But yeah. Anyway, so I just honestly, Black Pearl is probably my favorite song on the record, just because I was really, really happy to see Baby just kind of go off on that song. It was kind of one of those moments where like I've been watching her and waiting for her to like kind of start hitting some like really shining moments, and that was one of the first ones I've seen from her so far, and so that was really, really fulfilling for me.
I generally felt like the features on this album were really good. There wasn't a feature I didn't really like besides Futures, but Futures feature was made okay because of the way the production changed around him. Music Soul Child was all right. I mean, like I agree with you, Chenzo. Like I would have liked more from him, but what we did get from him was
big time.
good. But then JID and J. Cole, I like both their features a lot. And then CeeLo Green and Nick Cannon are both really good. Ari Lennox,
honestly, bro, at this point, I'm convinced JID can do no wrong.
Nope, he can't.
Man is an absolute god.
When is he gonna drop a project? It's been 4 years.
Hopefully this year. Yeah, hopefully at the end of this year.
Yeah, but he better. Like I got it on my wall up there.
God, DiCaprio too. It's such a dude. It's so good.
Amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Strawberries is like one of the best. Strawberries is one of the best songs of all time.
Booty soft and sweet like strawberries.
Had a couple of abortions.
Dude,
I love that song.
My favorite JID verse is on Down Bad.
Oh my god. That's
Board of Education versus
oh my god,
he says, dude.
I think my favorite JID verse is probably the one on
lyrical
151
verse.
Rum.
It's so good, dude.
It is that verse on Down Bad is one
Board
of
of Education. I was bored of education, left the town, fuck a resume, fuck a cap and gown. Oh my god, I was just like,
It's literally mind blowing. He says, I think about this verse all the time. It's one of my favorite verses of like the decade. He says,
it's so good.
He says, I was just fucked up. I was just down bad. Pick up the crown. Board of Education versus Brown. I was bored of education. Left the town. Fuck a resume. Fuck a
cap and gown.
Fuck a background.
He's unreal.
Check. I'm about to check, and we're back now. Like that's crazy.
I think that song is so good.
Real.
Yeah.
But dude, like this is a little bit of a tangent, obviously, because we're like still trying to talk about EARTHGANG, but like seriously, JID, people are really split on him, and I think it's honestly because people have kind of an unfair bias against him just because he's a part of Dreamville, and people don't like J. Cole. But that dude is going to be one of the greats. He will undoubtedly be one of the best rappers of all time by the end of his career.
I think that's exemplified by the fact that he hasn't dropped a project in 4 years and he's still relevant.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I don't know. I think it's actually impossible to make a song like 151 Rum and not be considered one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I think he's got to break out of the EARTHGANG.
Down this my brother.
Honestly, I would love to see him kind of branch out from Dreamville.
Me too.
Like, I know he came up with EARTHGANG and everything, and that's like where he's from and everything, but like,
dude,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. One more thing. The Never story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, dude. Me and my two be like Ed and Eddie. Oh my god, that song's so fire. Me and my two.
Yeah, I just think like the DiCaprio's Wave is so much better than that album too.
Yeah, it's insane.
I don't know. I love the Never story so much.
Where does this
anyway?
Where does like against Mirrorland? Like, what do you think this album was missing that Mirrorland like had, Chenzo? Like, what about this album do you think it doesn't do what happened on Mirrorland?
It was missing continuous fucking bangers. It was not consistent whatsoever, and that's what I was pissed off about. I can listen to Mirrorland through the whole song and be excited for the next song because I know what's coming next. This song, I'm like listening, I'm like, it could go either way, and I don't know which way it's going to go. And usually it was going to dog shit way. So I was like not excited for it at all. So the fact that Mirrorland just was like so like it just progressed really well. And I don't think Ghetto Gods did. I think there was just so many clear cuts on on Mirland that were like that stood out to me, and like they just had a really nice balance between R&B and rap, and they rapped way more on Mirland. I will argue that forever. Like I don't think Ghetto Gods they are not at their full potential at all. You know,
Agreed.
like have you seen their like what are those?
I was just gonna say real quick. I think that's like one thing we can actually agree on is I don't think they're at their full potential on this record.
No, they're not.
I think not even hearing their old shit, I don't think they're at their full potential.
No, I don't think so either. I think they have so much more to give. But have you seen that? What is that thing called? It's Color X Studios. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's just sick.
Yeah, they do Up on that album, dude, and just like rich shit. I don't know, dude. It's just like watching them there. I'm just like, holy shit! Like that's the energy that they have, and they didn't use any of that on Ghetto Gods, and which is why I'm so confused because they literally pulled it from releasing on the day it was supposed to release because they said it's not ready. And I just thought that would have warranted them to reassess. They didn't though.
I wonder what they've changed.
Part of me thinks that they were like so far. Part of me thinks that they're unhappy with this project. Part of me really thinks that they were like, what are we gonna do? It's already released. Everyone's expecting an album, and I think we just have to release it. And they released it, and I don't think they're stoked on this album at all, honestly.
Wow, really?
That it's conspiracy, but the fact that they pulled it from the shelves and then waited like a couple of weeks and didn't really tweak, as far as I know, I wasn't there to hear what was about to be released. But I don't know. I think in all honesty, I think they had so much more to do, and they might have been stopped by the label or something, some other like outlying factors that prevented them from doing what they wanted to do.
You think Dreamville would have stopped them from pushing the album back further?
I don't know. I just don't think. Here's what I'll say. I won't be surprised if they confess to not being stoked with this project and saying that they're gonna reinvent something in a later project. That's what I'll say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know. I just hope they're like. I really hope their next album's a bit of a return to form. Like I hope they go back to the Mirrorland type stuff because for me, like their style in R&B just does not do anything for me at all.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you had to say about this album, or should we wrap it? I mean, like I didn't have a particularly a ton to say about it.
I mean, I think that kind of covers it. You know, like I think me and Chenzo both.
I think it's
some differing opinions on this one, and I think that's really all I wanted.
Here's what I'll say.
I kind of wanted to hear his argument.
Here's what I'll say. I didn't. Okay, when I say I don't like it, I mean that like meaning I don't like it compared to other projects. Yeah, as much as Mirrorland. It's not bad. It's not bad. There's a lot. Lie to Me. I think Lie to Me, American Horror Story, and Run 2 are like some of my favorite tunes. I almost said tunes. Fucking jazz major. Songs. I think there's a lot of good moments on it. I just don't think it's sorry. I know it's funny. I just don't. Just jazz major. I always say tunes. I just don't think.
I just think these cats weren't like.
Oh, these cats just. Dude, I think these cats are just kind of like cutting themselves like deep, like they're not really changes and
it just didn't really swing.
Dude, it just didn't really stick that well, Like they just need to get back in the shed.
For real.
Yeah, but if anything, I would say like to anyone listening, listen to it because it's not terrible. I think it has a lot to offer, and as you may totally take Ian's side on it, even if you have listened to a bunch of EARTHGANG like I have, and just totally be like, I think it's great, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, and I really hope that this isn't them giving up or like dumbing down their style. I think they have such a unique sound that's unlike any like almost like to the point where like when I think of rap duos, I think of Run the Jewels because they're just fucking amazing, and I think of EARTHGANG. I'm like, these two are so distinct and they sound like nobody else. Like that's why I almost don't want to say.
I remember the other rap duo I was trying to think of earlier. By the way,
what was it?
Ray Shrimmered.
Oh, okay.
Dude, their
Do you know
first two
how many
albums,
people don't know that
underrated as
Ray
fuck.
Shremmer's a duo?
I didn't.
Huh?
Do you know the
You
amount
didn't know
of
Ray
people?
Shremmerd was a duo?
Nope.
Bro, that's crazy.
Most
Sway
people don't.
Lee and Slim Jimmy, baby. Oh, their first two records,
Yeah.
so fucking underrated. So good.
But anyway, it's like I almost don't want to think as EARTHGANG as another part of Dreamville. I want to think of them as like the same sense that JID has. Like they're just fucking two dudes who are so in their own game.
Yep.
But sadly, I don't think this record was it.
That's fair enough.
Agreed. But yeah, give it a listen. Let us know your thoughts. I mean,
For sure.
didn't do much for 2 out of 3 of us, but I mean, you never know. Different ears. This is an album I could see like it does a lot of different things. I could see it appealing to a lot of people.
Yep.
Anyway, though, first episode of Afterthoughts. Thank you for barring with our technical difficulties. We're gonna try to get those sorted out. Hopefully, those don't happen in the future.
No internet.
No internet.
No internet.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to do these often, very, very, very often, because we love doing this. We do this anyway. This is I said this before, but this is like why we're all friends because we just talk about music like this. It's like how it be. So we do this shit anyway. So we just are very happy to be doing this for you, be it on the YouTube channel, be it on the Patreon, wherever. We're just very, very, very happy about doing this, and we're excited to roll it out. But yeah, bear with us with technical difficulties, but in the future, I'm sure we'll have this more ironed out, a better system and everything, better editing, etc., etc., etc. Much love.
Much love.
Much
Peace out.
love.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Give this project a listen. Peace.
Peace out.